Question 11. What does God require in the 6th, 7th, and 8th commandments? Answer. 6th, that we do not hurt or hate our neighbor. 7th, that we live purely and faithfully. 8th, that we do not take without permission that which belongs to someone else. So we probably are more familiar with these commandments as number 6, you shall not commit murder, number 7, you shall not commit adultery, and number 8, you shall not steal. But what's interesting is all of these kind of serve as commands and regulations with regards to interacting with our neighbors. So if we go back to Jesus's summation of the law, the 2 great commandments, love the Lord your God with all your heart, strength, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Really starting in the 5th commandment and moving on to number 10, we see how we are to love our neighbor as ourselves. We are to love our parents and honor our parents like we talked about in the last question. But these 3 points really serve as a way how do we steward the relationships around us. Now, obviously, you shouldn't murder people, you should not commit adultery, and you should not steal. Those are givens. But if we want to expound this law out, we can really see something in the inverse or opposite of the commands. So commandment 6, right? You shall not commit murder. What's the inverse of that? You should love, protect, be patient with your neighbor. All of these things that would lead to their good and their flourishing, we are to pursue as Christians, not just restraining our hand from murder. Same with adultery. Not just not having an adulterous relationship, but the idea, the inverse is living purely, faithfully, whether we're married or whether we're single. This idea of walking in holiness, walking in purity. And the same with the 8th commandment, you shall not steal. Right? Don't take people's stuff. Yes, we understand this, right? But also don't withhold the good that you could be doing to benefit someone else from what you possess, because ultimately it's not yours. You are stewarding those possessions and that wealth and everything that God has gifted you by grace. You're stewarding it for Him. So therefore, we do not have the right to withhold good from our neighbor when we can do it. Okay, let's summarize. Question 11, what does God require in the 6th, 7th, and 8th commandments? 6th, that we do not hurt or hate our neighbor. 7th, that we live purely and faithfully. 8th, that we do not take without permission that which belongs to someone else.